Hello, beautiful people. Hey, look, before I start this session, I have a big announcement to make. And, the documentary that's been in the works for a long time about my son Eric's life, it's almost finished. But in order to get to that finish line, the director producer Paola Marino needs some help. So she needs funds to cover all the professional fees that will be involved to bring the story to the screen. Like a professional story editor, a music composer, a sound mixer, an illustrator, animator, etc., etc. Now, Paola created a crowdfunding page where you can donate whatever you feel comfortable donating. You can also donate by purchasing a 30-minute session with one of our mediums, or by purchasing an item from the Erik merchandise store, like the one I'm wearing. Saving the world, one prank at a time. It's an embroidered image, so it's really nice. So anyway, go visit channelingericdoc.com and take a look at it. This project is very near and dear to my heart. And one of my greatest wishes is to get the story out to more people so we can help more people. And I want you to go and see the trailer that's on the channelingericdoc.com. It's so moving. It's so powerful. It was my first reaction. It was a gut punch. But it says it all. So look at the trailer and let me know what you think. Thank you, guys. As promised on a TikTok post, we are going to channel TUPAC SHAKUR with Jennifer Doran. Lovely. Let's get the beautiful tree growing out of her head. Love that background. Anyway, so yes, you can find out Jennifer Doran's information on the screen and in the description box below. And you're going to find out how awesome she is. This is Elisa Medhus, and we're going to have my son, Erik, who is in the afterlife, Erik Medhus, help put things together, facilitate this channeling session. Okay, Jennifer, you have TUPAC there?
Yes, and Erik is here, of course. He says, I love you.
I love you too. You know I always do. I tell you
yeah.
so many times a day that sometimes I forget these sessions. All right, let me tell you guys who have been living under a rock who TUPAC is. TUPAC Amaru Shakur, 1971 to 1996. I can't believe it was that long ago. Wow.
I know.
My Annika was 2 years old. Anyway, he was an American rapper and actor. He is regarded as one of, if not the greatest and most influential rapper of all time. Academics regard him as one of the most influential musical artists of the 20th century and a prominent political activist for Black America. In addition to his music career, TUPAC also wrote poetry and starred in movies. Shakur is among the best-selling music artists, having sold more than 75 million records worldwide. His lyrical content has been noted for addressing social injustice, political issues, and the marginalization of other African Americans, but he was also synonymous with gangster rap and violent lyrics. Anyway, as you know, September 7th, 1996, Shakur was shot 4 times by an unidentified assailant in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas. He died 6 days later at the age of 25.
Yeah.
I just saw a
young
documentary about Notorious B.I.G. And that's quite the mystery as well. So we're going to definitely have to do that one as well. Do you have him with us?
Oh yeah. Yes. Yep.
Tell me what you see, Jennifer.
So, I'm sorry. What was that?
Tell me what you see. What does he look like? What is he dressed in?
So today, for the purposes here, he does look very much like he did when he passed. I don't know how tall he was, but he doesn't feel very tall.
Okay.
I have no idea. But very, very physically the same age. Of course, like that 25 kind of 30.
Yeah.
That's sort of how I feel like we a lot of times look over there anyways.
Yeah, everybody wants to be 25 again.
Yeah, that young adult kind of age. But yeah, very much how he appeared here before his passing.
Picture. Okay, so the first question, while I pull up the picture, so I'd say, thank you for agreeing to join us in this interview, TUPAC. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. He's, it's funny because he's Um, has very kind of like easygoing energy, very like I don't know, just kind of laid back, easygoing, friendly energy. So I thought maybe I would feel intimidated. I don't at all, so it's kind of
No.
nice.
He's got beautiful eyes. That's his
Yes.
passport picture.
Yeah. I was a and still am a huge fan, which is why I felt like I might be like
Yeah,
intimidated or
me
nervous.
too. Me too.
Yeah.
All right, so the first here is some say you're still alive and went in hiding for a while. Is this true or are you really dead?
No, no. It's he says no, I passed when they say what was that September 13th or something, the actual
September
passing.
7th, I think. Yeah.
I shot on the 7th, but
Oh,
passed
oh, yes. Okay,
days
yeah, yeah,
later.
that's
Yeah.
right. 13th, yeah. Did you know you were in danger, Tupac? I mean, did you have any sense?
Always. He is saying he kind of always felt like he was in danger, like there could be, a problem or an issue. Yeah. Not necessarily any more so than any other time. But um I guess he's saying like when the other car pulled up, he did know.
Oh,
But
really?
he's also saying he never expected to live a long life anyways.
Wow.
And you know how a lot of times people when they're going to die young, no. They just
Yeah,
always
they can't
he
see
says
themselves
yeah,
getting old.
yeah, yes, and he says I always knew I was going to die young.
Yeah, was that the case with you, Eric? Did you have a hard time
Yeah.
envisioning getting old?
Yeah, Eric says he didn't really see himself
Yeah,
getting old, kids, grandkids, that
yeah,
sort of thing.
it's a shame.
He must have, has he said
Mhm.
that before? Has Eric said that before?
I think he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, can you tell us who orchestrated your murder? Or if we're in danger for divulging that, that's fine. We're
No,
not doing
so
this for
there,
sensationalism. We're here to learn.
yeah, no, he says there is, you know, in what was it, 2023 or even this year, I'm not sure. There was somebody that was arrested, and
Oh,
this is what happened. This person was involved. His last name, I think, is Davis.
okay.
But everybody else who was in that vehicle is dead now.
Oh, wow.
Just was there three other people, two or three other people in the car
Okay.
besides this man that's currently under arrest, as far as I know, or was arrested last year or this year sometime. So it is connected to this. This is what happened.
Okay. Is the fight you had with Keith B's nephew, Orlando, the root of the cause of your
Hmm.
death?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, okay. Oh my gosh. Um, hmm, wish it said
Yes, he
yeah.
says it's not this like big conspiracy thing of the whole like the music in the East Coast, West Coast. There was a fight earlier that evening involving that person, Orlando, and this is it. Yeah, it just escalates very, very quickly. But there's not. He says there really isn't any conspiracies behind my passing, like was believed for so long.
Wow. Okay. During the later part of your career, you were shot 5 times in the lobby of a New York recording studio and experienced legal troubles, including incarceration. I guess you didn't die from that. But then in 1996 was the drive-by. Hmm.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. All right. So, in light, oh wait, no. Were you and Biggie Smalls really enemies, or was it just all for show?
Really enemies?
Yeah.
There was certainly he said like some distaste between the two of them,
Yeah.
but it was definitely fight. He says it was financially beneficial for both of us.
Oh, oh wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So there was
A show.
some Hollywood spin to this, so to speak.
Yeah, like how boxers are with each other before a
Yes.
fight.
Yes. But he's like, we weren't behind, he says behind the scenes, we weren't like best friends by
Oh,
any means.
okay. You two grew up together, were friends at one point, and if the two of you really turned into enemies, was it really due to the East Coast West Coast feud, or was there
No,
something more than
there
that?
was something more to it than that. That was on a more personal level
What was
um,
that about? What was it
between the
about?
two of them. He says they just ran with different people as they got older.
Yeah.
And so it was what he's saying is that there's more about that the friction between the kind of the like your friends people when you grow up and then you kind of go separate ways. It was more about that. And the East Coast West thing, there is something to it, but again, it was very financially,
Yeah.
lucrative.
Was there jealousy between or competition in the music industry
Competition
between
for
the two?
sure.
Oh, okay.
Competition,
But,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yes.
Was there one thing, the last straw on the camel's back, that made you guys fall away from each other?
I
Conversation, anything?
I I have to say I feel like it does connect to like a woman or like
Okay.
a like
Okay.
it does seem to have sort of this sort of energy. There is some jealousy but between the two of them when they're younger.
Okay.
Like the competitiveness. But what he's kind of showing me is like they were friends and
Mhm.
then they started to kind of grow apart, but then they never came back like as close, but that
Right.
they're they didn't hate each other towards the end. Not hate each
Okay.
other, he said.
All right. Did the U.S. government intelligence agency play any part in your death?
No, no.
All right. Will we ever find out? And if so, when? Do we already know? Actually. Um,
Um, so I mean, I, I I don't know what this Davis person that's in jail that said that they did this, or I don't know if you can see any of that or if there's any questions about that.
oh yeah.
It
What,
was, yeah,
Dwayne Davis?
yeah, yeah. So
Oh, that's Keith D. All right.
he was
Okay.
in the car, or he's connected to Orlando,
Okay.
and this is
But
what I'm
that's the
hearing is
guy.
this is what happened.
Okay.
Yes, this is so it's like just like something so stupid that happens, like a fight or whatever that happens that escalates to this. But he said, because of who I was, it's very easy to think that there was more behind it.
Hmm.
Um,
How were the days before your death while you were fighting for your life? What, were you in a lot of pain? Were you in a coma, anything like that?
no, he's telling me he was really not here.
Not in your body?
Not in the body.
Okay, well,
Not
good.
so much. There definitely feels like unconscious morphine. Like this sort
Oh,
of
yeah.
just kind of. There had to have been life support. It does feel like there's life support because I do feel like people are trying to get there to say goodbye. So he's
Yeah.
hanging on. But really, he says more, I'm just out and about of the body,
What were your
looking
thoughts
around.
when you were hit by those bullets? What were your thoughts? Like, I can't
He said,
believe
I
it's
knew.
happening, or,
Yeah, I knew. I knew I wasn't
oh,
gonna be so lucky this time.
mm.
Um,
Was it very
so,
painful?
no, he says I went into shock right away.
Oh,
I went
okay.
into shock right away. So no,
Oh, good.
no.
Why did Davis want to murder you?
It's so he's saying like this, like a lot of testosterone. So I don't know exactly, but I feel like were they at a Mike Tyson fight beforehand? Was that what
I think
this was?
so. Yeah.
So he he says like there's just so much like testosterone, and
Yeah.
they're all guys in their early 20s, and so this kind of like fuels it. There's,
Yeah.
alcohol and stuff involved here. And honestly, he said one of the reasons he wanted to kill me is because like I hate to say it, but if you could get that kind of like I killed Tupac,
Oh, God.
and yeah. So he says
Oh,
there
your mother
was
must be so proud. What?
yeah.
Why pled not guilty? What's going to happen to him?
I'm sorry, who?
The Davis. He pled not. He pleaded not guilty.
Mm, there no, there's he says there is some evidence. There is something. I don't know if the weapon was recovered. I'm not sure, but there is some evidence that links to this guy. What I'm hearing from Erik actually is that he'll go down for something
Okay, good.
in connection.
Okay, thank you, Erik. Was your death free will or was it contract?
No, no, he says I was. This was contract.
I
This
figured
this
when you
was
die young like that,
yeah.
And what are we to learn from your early demise as a collective, or you, or the murderer? Or,
Well, he says, nothing really like globally to learn from it, but certainly this is one of those things where even people who didn't know me grieved my death.
yeah,
Um, it can be also like, you know, you don't have to live like this. You don't have to, be so angry.
yeah,
There is a lot to learn there because it's like things can go from 0 to 100 so fast.
yeah.
And then, I mean, he really was an incredible artist, and it's gone now, like just because
Well, your
things
music will live
are.
on, of course.
Well, yeah. And of course he says I wasn't gonna create anymore, although he does work with artists that are currently on Earth,
Good.
helping um, new music come out and stuff. So he
Were
still is
you?
definitely involved in music, and he had lifetimes before this connected
Yeah,
to music, writing, the poetry, this sort of thing.
yeah. Were you angry? Kind of chronically angry? An angry person?
There was definitely, he says, yeah, there was definitely some of that. But he says I really couldn't have maybe written some of the stuff I did
True.
without the anger fueling it.
Yeah,
It served a purpose,
yeah,
but he's also saying that he really enjoyed parts of his life and some of it, and he wasn't afraid all the time. But there was definitely some anger. Yeah.
mhm. So, when did you start becoming an angry person? As a child?
Yeah, he
What was
says,
the
guys,
source? What's the
his
source of
was
it?
kind of when the hormones kicked in, it really amped
Yeah.
up. Um, what was the source of it?
I
So
know
he
one of
said,
your parents was activists with the Black Panthers. I think I saw that, but I'm not sure.
but he's also saying, some of it was just I contracted to bring in anger, to work with anger, to work through it, um, to create with it.
Okay.
So part of it was just in the contract. But yes, some of his upbringing, I mean, I really feel like with Eric, I've learned that anytime we bring something in to work on, we
Yeah.
also have to bring in people who will push us into that lesson.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, he definitely, there was some anger growing up and stuff that he saw,
Yeah.
that kind of fueled his anger.
Like you probably saw a lot of
Inju
death and
yeah,
injustice.
injustice, death,
Yeah.
grief.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely.
All right. So, were your deaths attributed to ending your contracts with Bad Boy for Biggie and Death Row Records for you? Did it have anything to do with the contracts ending?
Mm-mm. No,
Okay.
no, it was just his time. And I will say he's telling me like he couldn't even though he didn't pass right away from the gunshots, there was no option to recover from that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, it has nothing to do with the
The
music.
contracts.
Yeah,
Okay.
had he not had to die when he did, it would have just turned into something else musically.
Okay.
Yeah, it would have been okay.
What crossed your mind when you saw the shooter? First of all, did you see the shooter? Did you lock eyes and see and realize, uh-oh? Or were you
Mm-mm.
like looking the other way and got shot?
Yeah, no, he says I didn't lock eyes with the shooter.
Okay.
No.
All right. So
No, and then he says, then so it's kind of like one of those things where he's saying like because he'd been shot before, it seems like, oh, well, like maybe you were cognizant and could think. No, once the shot started
yeah,
going, it's absolute sheer chaos. I don't know how many people were in the vehicle that he was in,
yeah.
but people are screaming and doing stuff in his vehicle. So there's so much going on that he says, no, I could not see what was happening.
Oh my goodness. I can imagine. So what do you think about the music industry?
In general, he says, I love it. It is just, it's great. I mean, the just music in general and the industry getting things out there. Yeah, it's not a perfect system, just like no big system is
Yeah.
perfect, but
No.
It's good. Yeah, it's got its problems, but without it, he said, there's so many people who wouldn't become rich, become famous, help
Exactly.
other people
And
heal.
to give lessons and messages through your art too to the collective.
Yes.
All right, here's one person. Sadly, my only question is about the newest allegation and rumors about the initiation process most stars are subject to. Was Puffy, P Diddy, trying to make moves on you when you very first met him? Some say you two were a couple before you were shot the first time. You know, P Diddy is in a mess of trouble right now.
Okay, so basically, were you and P Diddy a couple?
Yeah, did he try to make the moves on you?
Yeah, so those are two different questions.
Okay,
You were not a couple.
okay.
Um, but yeah, so he's referencing like the P Diddy with the grooming kind
Yeah,
of stuff. There
yeah,
was, yeah. Like he's just like showing me like the kind of, the touching
okay,
like behind, but no, they were not a couple.
okay. Um, so what do you think about what's going on with P. Diddy right now?
It's about time, he said.
Ooh. Okay, from my point of view, the beginning of the rap movement began as a way to produce more criminals for the private enterprise prison system. What? The owners of the prison system colluded with the music industry to design a music system to promote criminals as heroes. Thus, many of the original rappers were criminals. This is now public knowledge, so you need to confirm is this correct or incorrect?
Um,
The private prison enterprise system needed more business?
so public knowledge, this,
That could be opinion, not
yeah, he's kind of laughing about this. There's not really a whole lot of substance here
fact.
for this.
Seem right.
Yeah, no, he's just kind of like laughing a little bit. No, there's honestly, what he's actually saying is drug addicts.
Yeah.
That system, as far as like the private prisons and the money and stuff, there's more of something there than through creating rap stars and
Okay.
musicians.
Okay. Can you offer any constructive insight into the situation with people having very negative feelings toward Jada Pinkett Smith right now? I didn't know they were. And was Jada Pinkett your true love?
Oh, okay. I was like, this seems like a little bit obscure. I didn't realize that they were a couple or
I
had any
didn't.
kind of
Maybe they
connection.
weren't.
It's just seemed like it was a little out of left field. What, can you repeat the question again?
Well, let me just read. There are three of them that are very similar. Was or connected. Was Jada Pinkett your true love? And what is the real deal on your relationship with Jada Smith? Is it everything she says it is, or is she exaggerating?
Okay, so first of all, I had no idea that there was a connection between the two of them.
No, I didn't either.
As far as is this his true love? He says we definitely have a soul connection. So true love is so hard because so many of us have a lot of soulmates that if we met
Yeah.
them in a lifetime would. So they don't have a soulmate connection, but they definitely are from the same soul family. But it's not in my definition of what a soulmate is.
Yeah.
What he's saying is they don't have that particular connection, but they do have past life connection on the other side. So on a soul level, they know each other, same soul family. Is everything that she says about their relationship true? He's kind of making a joke about like fishing stories, like
Oh,
fishermen.
yeah. The
There,
one that
there
got
is
away.
yeah, there is a little bit of leeway that she's taken with what it
Okay.
actually was.
Were you ever romantically involved or sexually involved?
Yeah, there does feel like there is some of that, but he's also kind of making me feel like he wasn't really like he wasn't gonna settle down and
Oh,
be,
yeah.
like
Right.
that just wasn't like part of what he was here to do.
Okay.
But yes, it does feel romantic.
Okay.
I mean, has she said it is? I have no idea about this.
I don't know. It sounds like it. But what do you think about people having such negative feelings toward Jada Pinkett Smith? I didn't know that was true.
I don't know anything about this.
Yeah.
Basically what he's saying about that is it is part of her journey at this point. So it's it's hard for them to sometimes look at us when we're struggling with stuff and say, "Oh, this shouldn't be happening. I wish it wasn't happening," because they know why it's happening to us and why we're being put through something
Yeah.
because our soul needs it for the growth. So, um, what he's saying is that there is something going on with her soul growth that she needs to have something like this.
Okay.
Um, but they can still try to support us from spirit and help us
Yeah.
through it. But it's this feeling of she needs to be experiencing this for whatever her soul's working on right now.
Feel about Suge Knight and Snoop Dogg? Were they really your friends?
I'm going to be honest. What he's saying is when he was here, he really didn't fully trust anybody.
Oh, I bet not.
So
Yeah.
to say like were they really your friends? I do feel like there is some level of trust there,
Mm.
but not
Not complete.
fully. Yes. He's telling me he was a little paranoid. I mean, I guess I feel kind of rightfully so, but
Yeah.
he was a little bit paranoid when he was here, so he didn't really fully trust anybody. But I don't feel overly like negative between, well, maybe more Suge Knight
Yeah.
than Snoop Dogg. Um,
Yeah. Snoop Dogg seems more like
they're
a pussycat. I can't imagine.
Yeah,
You
he's
don't
saying like
know.
Suge Knight definitely like he didn't trust as far as like backroom deals or behind his back sort of stuff. But I don't feel quite as bad about. I feel like actually more trusting and stuff of those two than was it Notorious B.I.G.
Yeah.
I feel like a little more comfortable with those
Bet.
two than yeah, yes.
I mean, in your life, you probably saw so much betrayal and
Mm,
death and loss. And so, of course,
yes.
that can make somebody paranoid. Um,
Yeah.
did you have any children that were kept secret from the public
Yes,
eye?
there are. Yes, there are. There's got to. I don't know. Again, while I was a fan, I don't know about his life,
Yeah, no.
fan of
You
his
just
music and stuff.
concentrate on the music. Yeah.
Does he have any kids that were acknowledged down here before he passed? I don't know, but I do feel as though there's at least two that we did not
Okay.
know about.
Ooh. All right, here's this. There's a girl on social media named Allie Carter. She is a human trafficking survivor, stating she is your daughter. Is that true?
I actually get goosebumps when you ask that question.
That's so true.
Yep.
Do you have a message
Well, I
for
mean,
her?
there's DNA. Anybody out there who thinks they might be his kid should probably do the DNA, do the
Oh,
DNA
yeah,
test.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah.
got family members in those things that you'd link to
Oh,
somebody.
yeah,
So
sure. Of course.
yeah.
Will the dark truths come out about Jay-Z and Beyonce that will affect their public image? Just something came out about Jay-Z that was really very damning. I can't remember
Yes,
everyone.
he's actually saying yes, and I don't know anything about that, but he's saying yes.
Either. Mm-mm.
Yes. Yep.
Did you really convert to Islam before you died?
Yes.
Okay, what made you do that?
It just spoke to him, he said. It spoke to him. He's saying that he really was like a very well, very deep, very
Yeah,
much trying to find the point, the purpose. And so some of that did take him on the religious path, and that one just spoke to him. It just did.
okay. All right, one more question, then we'll stop and we'll start
Yeah,
part two. It
perfect.
was stated that you frowned upon interracial dating, though you were reported to have dated a white women yourself. Was it true you disapproved of interracial dating, and if so, why?
No, no. It may have been something that was stated, but he says it would have been more for like a shock value
Oh
or
yeah,
something like that. But no, he really didn't.
all PR.
Yeah.
Um, well, one more. In 1992, you gave an interview talking about greed. Do you believe that people like Trump, who was mentioned in the interview, will ever be held accountable for the alleged pedophilia and rape of minors? Okay, I'm not going to do that one.
I was gonna say that seems like too like we started out with greed and then we're talking about yeah.
Yeah, okay, forget that one. All right, good. We will pause. You guys check Jennifer out in the description box below. It probably was already on the screen. Thank you, Tupac. Hold on. We'll be right back. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Eric, for your assist. And I love you all.
Love you.
Bye.
Thanks.
Oh,
Bye.
hit the like button, please, and subscribe.